Hello and welcome to a new video. Believe it or not, this is the first video we're releasing about silicones. You would have thought that the Adhesive Learning Centre would have made one of these videos before, but in fact we haven't. And the reason for this is the term silicone is often misused. People use it to refer to any type of sealant and even to the act of sealing itself. Silicones might be very popular, but as we're going to look into it today, not always for the good reasons. So today we're going to compare silicones with another type of adhesive that's proved itself in the field. Hybrid polymers. We're going to look into their base chemistries, then look at the pros and cons of both different types of sealants, and then at the end we'll run through some quick tests to show you. Silicones are synthetic polymers made up of a combination of silicon, oxygen, carbon and hydrogen. They are the most common type of adhesive as they usually don't cost much and they'll do their job. They are very popular in construction and they are readily available in hardware shops. Hybrid polymer sealants are made from modified silane polymer and polyether. That's why they're often referred to as MS polymers. They were formulated to combine the characteristics of silicon, but also the characteristics of other adhesive types, for example, polyurethanes. Silicones have several advantages. 1. They're resistant to high temperatures. 2. They're easy to use. And 3. They're very cheap. A typical silicone would have a high temperature resistance of up to 250 degrees, and this is a major advantage over hybrid polymer sealants. In general, silicone sealants have a low viscosity, which means they can be applied easily with a caulking gun without any special tools or techniques. For inexperienced users, this makes it a lot easier to get a good finish. However, if you're a skilled operator, you will not find hybrid polymer sealants more difficult to work with. Another advantage of silicone sealants is their lower cost compared to other sealants. Obviously, silicones are cheaper for a reason. Lower price means lower quality. Silicones have several disadvantages as well. A cheap silicone that would cost around £3 a tube would have poor mold resistance. If you intend to use this in a very humid environment, you'll start to see your silicone go moldy after 6 months. Another disadvantage of silicones is that you cannot paint over them. This is due to the hydrophobic nature. But most importantly, the biggest disadvantage of silicones is their poor adhesion performance. The silicone sealants that are readily available at low cost will not have enough strength, flexibility or grab to be used for bonding purposes. We will demonstrate that in a minute with our live comparison. Now we're going to look into the advantages of hybrid polymer sealants. Hybrid polymers have many advantages. 1. They have high strength, flexibility and grab. 2. They can be overpainted, and 3. They can be colour matched to any substrate. They are strong enough to be used in structural bonding applications, for example, gluing panels. Hybrid polymers can bond a lot of materials from metals, plastics and even glass. They are flexible enough to withstand constant movement and vibrations, like on a vehicle, for example. The initial grab is often good enough to hold materials in place while they cure. And if you stick with us to the end of the video, we'll be showing you the grab of both adhesives. Hybrid polymer sealants are also overpaintable. With a silicone sealant, your paint can bubble. On top of that, you can also colour match hybrid polymer sealants to the substrate you're sealing. Now, let's talk about the disadvantages of hybrid polymer sealants. One of the main disadvantages is their higher costs compared to silicones. That is due to their superior properties, which put them in the premium sealant category. Another disadvantage is their longer curing time. While they do form a skin faster than silicone sealants, they usually take longer to reach a full cure. This means that you may need to wait longer before putting the sealant into full use. But as we're going to see in our test right now, they have a higher grab than silicone sealants. This allows some bonding applications to move down the production line before the hybrid polymers have cured. Okay, so we've now come to the live comparison of these two sealants. Here, 3 days ago, I bonded the silicone sealant and stuck them down. And over here, I did the same, but with a hybrid polymer sealant. The 3 tests we're going to be looking at is a strength test, the flexibility test, and the grab test. So for the strength test, I'll be using this pull tester machine. For the flexibility test, I'll be using this hammer. And lastly, for the grab test, I'll be using these bricks. The grab test is simple. We apply the adhesive to a brick, we put them together and we lift it and see how many bricks the adhesive can hold. So to start this live comparison, I'm going to use the pull tester machine to test the strength of the adhesive. What this does is this measures the kilonewtons used to pull the peg. And we're ready to pull. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, on to 0.5 now, 0.6, all we're doing, as you can see, is the metal is bending. The hybrid polymer sealant got a high score of 0.9 kilonewtons, which was 0.5 kilonewtons stronger than the silicone sealant. The next test we're going to do is a flexibility test using this hammer. The test is conducted by hammering the pegs side on until one of them gives way. We can see that the peg bonded with silicone was displaced after one hit, while the hybrid polymer peg was able to withstand a few blows before resulting in the top of it being bent. We're now going to be moving on to the grab test. This test is to test the initial grab of the adhesive when it's still wet. It was successful for another 5 seconds. Its initial strength was able to hold 1 brick. As we can see, it failed to hold 2 bricks. So that was able to hold 4 bricks and it failed on the 5th. Throughout this test, we found that hybrid polymer sealants are stronger than silicones. This means that the hybrid polymer sealant could also be used for bonding. We also found that they were more flexible than silicones, which is important for vibration and movement in the mass transportation industry. The hybrid polymer sealant had a higher grab than the silicone, which means that on a production line, these can be held in place with its own initial strength. There will be no tape required. We hope this video has helped you understand the differences between silicone and hybrid polymer adhesives. If you want to learn more about hybrid polymer adhesives, please check out the Polymers page on our website. And as always, if you want to learn more about adhesives, subscribe to our YouTube channel and stick with us.